bye-bye long trench hot pink coat. We'll be saying hello to a nice, cute puffer bag. So I went to the thrift store. I picked up this trench for $5. It was initially $9.99, but the store was having a 50% off sale. I thought that I would like this jacket as it is and I would wear it like this, but it's a little frumpy and just, I don't know, I think it's a little too much. So I'm going to try to turn it into, or at least a part of it, into a puffer bag. So I keep all my bags that get ripped or that are damaged from too much wear and tear for the sake of having metal pieces when I want to make a new bag. This is the bag I picked from that bin. I'm going to be cutting off and using all these metal pieces for my new bag. I just cut all these metal pieces out and I bought some zippers. 2 are 7-inch, one's 9, and one's 12. I don't think I'm going to be using all these for this bag, but it's good to have options. So, on to cutting the bag. I started with a basic rectangle, then decided to do an arched bag. I cut a lining for every part of the bag except the straps and the zipper sides. I decided I have a zipper in the front of the bag, so I measured across the front where my zipper would go. I used a 9-inch zipper, by the way, and cut my front in 2 pieces where the zipper would split them. I measured the arch of the bag so I'd know how to measure my sides and my zipper. I was gonna go with the diamonds because that's pretty traditional, but I might just go with lines. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go just with straight lines. Here are all the pieces I cut to make this bag, and here's how I marked the lines on the front, back, and side pieces. Okay, so I sewed around the arch, not across the bottom, sewing the lining to the outer fabric. The whole purpose of that is so that these seams won't be loose inside of the bag. And now I'm going to sew around the edge and down the lines. The bottoms are open, so I'm going to use some polyfil and stuff in between those lines. This polyfil is left over from my puffer coat I made, so if you didn't see that video, go check it out, I'll link it. But yes, let's start stuffing this, and then I'm going to do all the rest of the sides and stuff them too. I'm not sold on just straight lines, so I'm gonna do lines across and do squares instead of the long tubes or rectangles. This is what I have now. Back, front, and I think I'm satisfied with this design. So I'm going to do all the other pieces. Turn the front lining right sides facing and sew, leaving the bottom undone. This was cut from the front edge of the jacket, so it had interfacing, which I left on. I turned it right side out and top stitched the edge and sewed down the lines. I think I like this design better. It's the straight lines with the wide straight center. So I was trying to decide if I should seam rip, but I seam ripped the center from this one because I did all the lines that I did on this one initially, and you can see all the holes from that stitch. So I'm thinking if I seam rip this, you're still gonna see this design in the stitch. So I think I'm gonna keep the squares in the back to avoid that look of the holes in there, and this will be the front. And I'm just gonna do the top one puff. But first I attached the zipper. I pinned the zipper to the bottom part of the front of the bag. Then closed the bottom that was left open for the polyfill, and switched out to my zipper foot and sewed the zipper to the bag. Next, I sewed the top front upper half to the lining right sides facing, leaving an opening for the polyfill. Then I turned the top part of the front right side out, stuffed it with polyfill, pinned the open part closed, and sewed around the entire edge. I decided I wanted my zippers to be hidden since they don't match the shade of pink of the bag, so I decided to sew the top portion so that it's just covering the zipper. I pinned and marked where I'd sew on the top part and sewed the top part to the zipper. I'm going to attach the shoulder straps buckle to the front and to the back. I have these rectangle pieces. I cut 6 of them because I'm also using them on the side. The side I did already and I still need to do the other one. So I cut this from the edge of the jacket so one side is already hemmed. So I'm going to fold this, fold in the 2 short ends, and then I'm going to fold it in half again to create these buckle loops, and then I'm going to attach them to the bag. Don't forget to leave seam allowance when attaching the buckle loops. Sewing these straps on was very challenging. My sewing machine was having a hard time, so they're a little uneven, but I was not seam ripping and doing it over. I mean, I did seam rip one time, just this side, and the struggle, not worth it. They're just going to be uneven for now, or for forever. I also want to do a hidden zipper on the zipper that goes across the arch, but I already cut these strips and did not give them space for that. But I don't want to cut new strips. So I'm going to try to use these strips, and I'm going to hopefully try to overlap the zipper so it's a hidden zipper. Sew the side strips to the zipper so that the fabric is sitting half over the zipper to hide the zipper. For the sides, I sewed each side to the lining, right sides facing, along the sides, but make sure to leave a gap in each side to fill with polyfill. Then turned it right side out and sewed across it crisscross. I filled each side with polyfill. Then top stitched along the entire edge and attached the buckle to the back loop and sewed it onto the side. Now sew each side to the ends of the zipper right sides facing and top stitch. So here's the zipper and the sides. I already know these sides are going to be too long. They're going to end up being shortened after being attached to the bag. I'm going to make sure these are down when I attach. Make sure that doesn't get caught. Pin this side to the front of the bag. Now sew the side to the front. I was very nervous sewing that on, but for no good reason, because it came out cute. Now pin the back to the side and sew. Okay, so I'm going to cross the sides so I can cut off the excess. Okay, it's looking really cute. It's the front, side, and the back. I completely forgot that this side pocket is no pocket of its own if I don't put a pocket bag. So I cut out this piece here, which is the same shape as the bag. I'm going to sew it around the edge. Now I have my pocket bag sewn on. Now when I open the zipper, it has its own pocket. For the bottom of the bag, I cut a piece of this stiff interfacing so I can stiffen it out a little bit, since I won't be adding any polyfill to that. I cut the interfacing to be shorter. I'm going to sew that. Then pin the bottom to the bag. I should have pinned the bottom and lining at the same time, but I did it separate. To clean up the raw edge, I used bias tape around the entire raw edge of the bag. So now I'm doing the straps of the bag. So here's the one I did first. I cut a piece of felt to add in the handle. So I'm going to fold the two edges and sew them in. Sew down the short edges and then fold that in half with this down the center. For the main strap, I'm just using the belt that came with the jacket. I'm going to fold it in half and I'm going to sew it so that it's half the width it is now. Sew the shoulder strap to the adjuster buckle, then attach to the buckle loops and to the other loop and sew. Now sew the handle straps to the buckles. And here's the finished product. It's
cute. I like it.
If you like the way this turned out, be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. And stay tuned for all the other videos coming. Thanks for watching. Bye.